Guys, we're live. So if you want to go down there and write some questions, we're going to answer. And we actually have one right now. And Helena, I would love your take on this. This is like right up your alley. So this person asks how to be feminine on dates. And you are like the queen of feminine energy. So how can a woman be like feminine on a date?
That is such a great question. I was reading the questions here myself. I'm so used to reading them myself. I think that's a phenomenal question. Perfect for this topic. Yeah, you can think of feminine energy as leaning back, right? Leaning back physically, mentally, verbally, even emotionally, just leaning back, creating that space for a man to come towards you. So for everyone watching, next time you're on a date or just with your man, try physically leaning back, physically leaning away from him while keeping your heart and your energy open to him at the same time. If he is a masculine energy man and he's truly interested in you and attracted, he will instinctively start to move towards you. Even if he doesn't really realize it, he'll just feel this pull to come towards you. So that is like a physical demonstration of how this energy exchange works. Also verbally leaning back. I mean, how many times on dates as women, we can tend to want to jump in there and fill all those awkward pauses in conversation. Mike, have you experienced that before?
Oh God, that is the absolute worst. Like sometimes I actually got asked like what my favorite color is just so that she could fill up space. And I'm like, really? Like, how does this matter of whether we're a match or like, I was just like, oh, I'm bored. Get me out of here.
Totally. And it comes from a great place, right? It comes from a place of just like wanting to keep the connection going and like wanting everyone to be comfortable. I'm totally like naturally that way. So I still have to remind myself with everybody, men, women, everybody, just it's okay to have like a little silence. If you can be comfortable with the silence and kind of allow some things to like bubble up between the two of you, men like that he's gonna feel more connected to you in that moment. So that's verbally leaning back. Also, just mentally and emotionally, meaning not obsessing about a man, not going up in your head wondering if he likes you, wondering what the next best thing to say is. The more you can drop out of your head and into your body, that's getting out of your masculine energy and into your feminine energy, the more he's going to really feel attracted to you and connected on like a really deep level, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. So let's say you're with like a pretty introverted guy that's not really asking that many questions. Is it okay to ask questions then?
That's a great question. Actually, I've been getting so many questions about this, like in the comment sections on my YouTube channel. I keep saying like, well, what about a shy guy? What about an introvert? So I'm so glad you brought that up. Yeah, of course, it's fine to ask questions, you just don't want to jump into like interviewer mode or reporter mode, because that's jumping into your masculine energy where it's just like firing off one question after another, right? Even with shy guys, I would say it still applies. You want to just like lean back and don't constantly pick up the slack for him. And I promise he will say something, right? It might take him a minute to like get his bearings, especially if he's nervous, because men get nervous too, just like us, right? But he'll say something, I promise. And he'll actually open up more the more you allow that space for that to happen.
Yes. Helena, I want to talk to you about body language a little bit. I do like a whole 10-minute segment for my clients on this, but let's pretend like you go for a date at a bar and you're sitting on a bar stool and you're both facing the bar, right? So this is man, this is female facing the bar. Now you talk about leaning back. Now, can she like turn all the way so her knees are like facing him, or does it need to be like turned a little bit, or like both turn towards each other? Like what should this look like when you're at a bar in terms of body language for the woman?
That's a great question. I've never had anyone ask me that before. I did a video a long time ago on body language. I'd love to have you on sometime talking about this, because it sounds like you might know more about this than I do. But yeah, try leaning your upper body back. Like imagine leaning back, and just the important part is keeping your heart open. If you can imagine just like unzipping your heart and keeping your energy and your heart open to him. If you're facing him, that's totally fine, but it's like that constant filling of the space that gets us into this like forward leaning masculine energy. So yeah, I think it's fine to be facing him, but try leaning your upper body back while keeping your energy open to him at the same time.
Ooh, I like that. And so I just want everyone to realize that what Helena is saying is absolute gold. Like as a man on a date, like a woman that's kind of like zooming in, leaning in, and like just like kind of on top of me, it's like, ugh, like that's kind of my job. Like she's taking my job. I want to kind of be like coming towards her, and I want to be the masculine. So this is so spot on. And like for the bar example, if a woman turns all the way here and I'm still facing here, so I'm like turning like that to talk to her, or turned a little bit, and she's like full on, like both her feet are on my bar, she's like up in my face, like I'll be freaked out and like, why is this woman that I just met in my personal space? And obviously if the conversation's fine, like we can get past this, but these subtle things kind of like lead into everything. Like the conversation could be going well, and this could actually distract a man. Like, why is this woman like so in my space? Like we just met. And that's the same thing like with a man, that if on the first date he's almost like trying to kiss you or is trying to touch you, it's just like, I don't feel comfortable for this yet. Would you agree with all that, Helena?
Totally. I mean, the image I got when you were saying that is if you're like in line at the grocery store or something, and there's someone just like standing too close to you and you don't even know that. It's just like, okay, you can feel that. And what does it do? It makes you want to back up and create some space between the two of you. And a lot of times with men, they can't put their finger on it, but it's that desire to come towards you just kind of diminishes a little bit. So just as much as you can, just lean back and just imagine his energy coming towards you. Even if it's not right now, just imagine his energy and attention and love kind of coming at you, and you're pulling him in. You're pulling the whole world towards you with this feminine magnetism, rather than, pushing, leaning forward, trying to make something happen constantly. And that works in any stage of the relationship.
Yes. Love that.